Hello my darlings, it's me Chantal. I am back today to review this week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. In honor of this week's conjoined sister episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, I thought, why not invite my own twin sister? Unfortunately, as you may notice, she went out clubbing until 2 p.m. and can barely open her eyes. Say hello, Chantal.
Nous sommes deux sœurs jumelles, nées sous le signe des Gémeaux. Mi fa sol la mi ré mi fa sol 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 ré do. Toutes deux demoiselles, ayant eu des amants très tôt. Mi fa sol la mi ré mi fa sol 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 ré do.
Anyway, let's move on. So, as you may remember, last week's episode was won by Ginger Minj and Kennedy Davenport and sent Max home. The surprise of his elimination was tamed by the announcement that one of the queens would be coming back. For the mini challenge, as we think that one of the returning queens will come out of the door, it is actually Latrice Royale. She brings back her legendary Season 4, Episode 4, Prison Guard.
Get those nuts away from my face!
The queens are asked to create their prison alter ego. I like Ginger Minj's Turbin, Tabernacle, and Katya's Gingivitis, Olga Prisoner. But it is Kennedy who wins with her ashy knees. As we now know, the theme for this week's episode was Conjoined Queens. Kennedy, winning the mini challenge, gets to pair up the queens. She chooses Jasmine Masters for herself. It was nice to see them back together and see Kennedy rooting for her friend. The runway look was very pageanty and I thought well put together. Jadine Dior Fierce was paired with Tempest du Jour. I felt like poor Jadine was thrown under the bus, having been picked last. There is such a huge physical difference between her and Tempest, there was no way for them to look related. You okay, darling? You want a bucket? But Tempest's backstory about their mom partying in Studio 54 and having multiple partners was funny and made sense. Something not so funny though was to hear Tempest talk about her gay conversion therapy. It is so sad that so many people still go through such a traumatic experience for nothing. You know, I was lucky enough to grow up in a supportive environment where people treated me as their peer because I am. And to think that so many people do not see that and choose to cultivate hate and intolerance around them behind hypocritical arguments, it upsets me. And to anybody who says that the gay issue has been over-discussed in the media, I will remind them that this is not self-admiration or selfishness. If we do not promote ourselves, nobody will. To come back to Tempest and Jadine, the final look was lackluster and too basic. Pearl is paired with Trixie.
Cocorico.
As excited as I was, I have to be honest. Watching Trixie's stand-up comedy on YouTube, I never really bursted out laughing. Their child pageant look was very fun, and the one which had the clearest concept and the most dynamic energy between the two contestants. Ginger Minj and Sacha Bell decided to be joined by their titis, also known as nichon in French, not to be confused with cornichon, which is a pickle. Hashtag nichon en cornichon. Anyway, Ginger seemingly has to make the whole outfit as Sacha Bell is just walking around the workroom and chit-chatting with the other queens. Come to think of it, the judges must have been thankful that Ginger was paired with Sacha Bell and that she fucked up. Can you imagine Ginger Minj winning the challenge and Sacha Bell being back? Not happening. But there was also no way that she was going home. Their giant breasts reminded me of Alexis Mateo from season 3.
Bam! Bam! Bam!
Bam! Although the execution was really poor and the breasts looked like two rolled up pieces of foam, which they were, I loved the look because of the runway. Ginger was hilarious, but we'll get back to that in just 1 minute. Katya was paired with Miss Kasha Davis. Their sisters, Two old trashy queens at the casino were conjoined at their vaginas. Fame and Candy Ho chose a plastic surgery theme. It was, as pointed out by Michel Visage, a little predictable. Another well-executed but predictable look was Violet and Max. They looked absolutely stunning, but they just responded to the most basic aspect of the challenge. They could have done something much more fun. Pearl and Trixie win the challenge, which means that Trixie gets to come back. All the rumors were true. Ginger and Jadine are nominated to lip sync for their life. And we all gasp when we learn that the queens must lip sync in pairs. That's when we knew that Jadine was going home. Without breaking apart, there was no way she could work the runway as she does. Ginger steals the show and flies away across the world with it. She started by shaking her face inside her own titties. Oops. They both start running in opposite directions and finally fall to the floor where they perform a quadruple mastectomy. Sasha did a good job at following Ginger's lead, but it's Ginger that we were all looking at. I have to say, that was one of my all-time favorite lip syncs. Jadine must go home and she seems extremely defeated and depressed. I feel for her, she really wanted that crown. But she is a very inspiring queen and I'm curious to see more of her. Anyway, that's it for today. Time for me to put Chantal back in bed